really, really well. Much more manageable size. That's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Have them shown like this. Oh, there it is. Oh, that looks bad, dude. I'm super excited today because this ginormous thing arrived. This giant thing is wrapped really, really well. That's my first impression. Goodness. I feel like I can toss this down from the second floor, it'd be okay. Well, let's go ahead and free it from this super packaging. Man, and here it is. Absolutely beautiful. So this is done by Aqua Rocks. So some of you guys may remember, I was able to find this piece locally. This is a commission piece by a local reefer to Aqua Rocks. The guy was selling this piece. I picked it up for $100. So that's when I learned about this company called Aqua Rocks. They make these kind of custom mounts. Since then, I bought these guys, the single frag holders and also 5-hole holders. Really like them. So when it comes time to replace that part of the tank's rocks, I figure, okay, I'm gonna reach out to Aqua Rocks because I really like the work and just go ahead and make a custom piece, and this is the results. This looks absolutely gorgeous. Look at this.
1 week later.
All right, y'all. The master plan is gonna be in motion. I am about to remove that entire mount of rock and replace it with that awesome looking frag mounts. One last look to see how the tank looks right now, as is. And that roll sloped anemone is gonna stay in the refugium for a little bit until I can find it a new home. While we're at it, look at this Colorado sunburst. So I'm hoping to build a small mount of rock either in the middle of the tank or on the edge of the tank, and hopefully the CSP is gonna stay right there because again, that anemone, I see that is also moving to the previous anemone's place. So leaving it alone, it's gonna get bigger and bigger, and it's eventually just gonna start stinging all the corals around it again. So CSP is going to go up front or over here, assuming it's going to stay. But again, this is a much more manageable size, so hopefully I'll be have an easier time there. But today, unfortunately, sorry to the clowns, the mansion is gonna go. I'm hoping that by having these rocks stay in the refugium for now, it's gonna minimize the imbalance. And speaking of which, the reason I have my phone here is because I want to show you how ridiculous this refugium is. Look at all the Aiptasias. Actually, I'm not sure you can see it. If not, I can show you the video clip I took on my phone when the refugium light was on. There's a lot of Aiptasias among these rockworks, so I do need to find some way to address it, whether it's by adding Aiptasia eating filefish or peppermint shrimp or the nudibranch here, but somehow I need to address Aiptasia here as well, because each time I clear out the Aiptasia in the display tank, some of them, is the spore or whatever pieces may just go travel through the system and land in the display tank again. So I don't know, maybe I'll even keep a copper pan, I don't know, we'll see. All right, well, that's let's get to work. Alright, real quick, let me just show you what the tank looks like. Stirred up all these silts. And look at that spot right there. So here's the rest of the tank and that back right corner right there. It's all cleared out. This, my friend, absolutely perfect. Look at this. Without even having corals on there, I already fill out the spot so nicely. Oh, man, look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. The only issue I would have is those two slots that's sitting right in front of the MP40s. But that's to be expected. Not all the slots will be perfect, but those are right in front of the vortex, so it's probably too strong for well, it's gonna be too strong for corals. But all those other slots, look at that. This is gonna be gorgeous, man. That's beautiful. My idea is to have all these things growing here and then stagger. There'd be a little valley and then a little clump right here. Look from the top. So I gave Aqua Rock the dimension I want this rock to sit. And I asked for it to build, kind of go out, because I know this diagonal will have a little bit more slot. So I think the intention is to turn this whole thing a little bit this way, so the long way extrude out this way. But I kind of like it like this. For the next couple of days, I'm going to play around with placement, whether keep it this way, where it extrude out this way, or turn a little bit, so extrude out this way. But just right off the bat, how it sit right now, I love it, man. I absolutely love it. So in terms of cost, I paid $285 for this custom rock. I've got some mounts that I really like. I thought they do a good job, and all the stuff that they share on social looks fantastic. So I hit them up when it's time to replace that chunks of rocks right there in the corner. I was like, hey, can you do some custom rock, and how much would it normally cost? Say $285, done. So there it is. Dude, I'm so happy. I am so happy. This is gonna look fantastic. Hey, what's up, Reefers? Today we are visiting what I think to be one of the best reef tank in a public aquarium in the DC area. And if you're familiar with the area, you know that I am actually in the Smithsonian Natural History Museum. So without further ado, let's go check it out. It makes sense that the reef tank is going to be in the ocean hall. And this is actually really exciting for me because, as you know, with the pandemic and stuff, I have not ventured out much. And so it's a treat. And today it should not be too crowded because I'm actually dropping Emily off for work and I have a little time. So I figure I'll come check it out. As we can see, people trickling back into these public space, which is fantastic to see. Hopefully things are going to start going back to normal really soon. Oh, there it is. Look at this. This one right here. That's what I came here to see. But first, let's take a look at what else they have to offer. So I thought this was a really cool display right here. Who lives in the twilight zone? So they made models of all these little creatures. That's awesome. And there's lots of nice and impressive stuff here. Lots of little reading material, lots of little nooks and crannies, which is fantastic. Cookie cutter shark. What's good, brother? And too bad Leon's not here because he's gonna love this. He loves whales and also shark, and his favorite, whale shark. This tank is absolutely gorgeous. In terms of size, it's not the biggest tank out there, but then in terms of like coral growth, absolutely gorgeous. Look at all these SPS. Yeah, I mean, like, one big thing is that a lot of public aquarium I see is mostly like soft corals, maybe LPS. But this one, dude, this is like pretty much SPS dominated at this point. Look at the size of this wreck, Gonipora, and look at the clownfish just in heaven. My goodness, here, emphasize, look at that plate. Look at the Re-scaping. Look, by the way, these look like regular sized fish and stuff like that, but they're actually huge. Just like everything in this tank is huge. Is that's like a gold octospine back there too. Good old Milka Stylos. Is that a red dragon perhaps? Absolutely beautiful. Look at that tank. Again, size. I wish there's something else that I can show for the scale. Look at these guys. Even a tomato tank. Look at this. Usually you see them really small, right? This guy's big. They're just like so many little details. And look at that. Instead of being hosted by an anemone, this little harem of accelerated clownfish decided that they like the green mushroom better. So there they are. It looks like they have some layer tail MPS as well. A little group of yellow tang. Beautiful. Just like every corner you look, there's like so much details. And again, here comes this big tang right here. Look at this big boy. They do need to kind of wipe down the glass though. It's a little bit foggy with the film algae going on. I just noticed all these Bristol stars and Astrorina starfish just in all the crevices. Just look at how mature this tank is. Another thing I just noticed, this whole big chunk of green, kryptonite candy cane. That's insane. That's a huge colony. And there's a big guy again. Absolutely gorgeous, really well matured. I bet this tank has been up for at least like 10 years. That's my bet. So make sure time to appreciate the SPS at the top of this tank. Looks like these two clowns are going at it. Alright guys, so that was the public aquarium at the Natural History Museum at Washington, D.C. and it is what I consider to be one of the best in the D.C. area. Now, I know there are a lot of private aquarium that looks fantastic in the DC area as well, but that is a whole different category. But this tank, even though it's not big, it has really well-matured SPS colony, also LPS, and also softies as well. If you remember in the corner, there's a really nice colony of Nymphaeus. You know, I've been a huge fan of big, mature colonies, and this tank absolutely fit the bill. So as this year progressed, I will start venturing out to check out more public aquarium, as well as private aquarium. Now, if there are certain aquariums that you think I absolutely have to check out, please leave it in the comment below. I would love to take a look. I hope you guys enjoyed this side trip to the Washington, D.C. to check out this fantastic reef aquarium. And let's get on to the rest of the videos. So later today, I have a good friend, Julian, coming over who's also in the hobby, and I'll be sending him home with some frags. Once I have some of these SPS frags healed up, ready to go as well, I'll probably put some of them up for trade or sell locally as well. I will be giving some away, but it's not going to be all of them, simply because I have a second kid coming, and I need to start collecting some diaper money to offset that additional expense. Man, every time I think about it, my head is about to explode. I'm like, oh my god, do I need a second job? Remain to be seen. Anyways, let's pack up the corals and get things ready. Here's a cool little contraption that Lynn used when getting me all the zoas. So this is a 3D printed frag carrier that fits inside one of these P cup right here. And it was designed by the same person that did the random flow actuator. Look at this. It fits into the cup perfectly. I don't think it's for, at least I don't think it's for sale. If that changed, I'll leave it in the comment below. But this is excellent, because in the past the frag would kind of tumble inside this P cup unless I use like a styrofoam block. But now look at this. This is absolutely perfect. I'm actually thinking about in the future, if I do attend like frag swap and stuff like that, if I actually set something up, I could potentially put the frag in upside down and just kind of have them shown like this, and people don't have, so I don't have to set up a tank, and it'll all just be a little container. People can look at it and just grab and go. That would be kind of cool, isn't it? And here's a closer look of the Space Invader Pectinia frag. Look at this. Container works so well. All right. Besides the Space Invader Pectinia, we also have the Gorgonian, Grove's Gorgonian, a vertically mounted forest fire digitata that my Hippo Tang helped frag, and of course a frag of the Rasta Zoa that is a crowd favorite. We also got a nice orange mushroom that came loose, so we'll pack that guy up too. 2 hours later. Nice, nice, nice. I just had a nice little chat with Julian, and he dropped off quite a few of these, how do you pronounce it? I don't know how to pronounce it, I have it on the screen.
Setosa. Setosa.
He hooked me up with 4 of these guys. I'll probably put 2 of them together so that it combines into a larger branch like he suggested, and then I can make 2 more frags of these guys to grow them out at different part of the tank. At the same time, I'm going to frag back the goldenrod a little bit like I mentioned before, because it's growing into the golf bonsai and I don't want to take the risk of them kind of just blowing each other up. Here is a closer look of the goldenrod and where it's kind of intersecting with the golf bonsai. Here's a front look. I think within a week or 2, if I do not intervene now, they're going to touch. Some people say it's okay, some people say it's not, and some people say one side is going to die back one branch, while others have shared experience where the whole colony kind of just peeled overnight. So all these mixed results from people just got me a little bit scared. I am not quite ready to gamble until I have at least more of this coral in reserve, both coral. All right, here is the top-down view of the goldenrod and the golf bonsai. You can see that the goldenrod is pretty much intersecting the golf right smack in the middle of the growth pattern of the airspace of the golf bonsai. So I think like within a week or 2, if I do not intervene now, they're gonna clash. So I'm going to take the advice of Richard Aficionado, just clip off the edge of the goldenrod that is going over the golf bonsai, so that the bonsai can continue to grow straight upwards, and hopefully that will encourage the goldenrod to grow inwards towards the forest fire digitata and the magnificence. Anyways, for this particular purpose, I actually bought something. I bought this long little clipper right here. I'm not sure what the official name is, but I got this from bulk reef supply. I hardly used it. It's pretty much all rusted up, but I think that can be fixed, and a little bit of rust at this moment does not matter. The only thing I'm afraid of is the whole goldenrod. It's not that big yet, so I'm not sure how strong the skeleton is for the main branch. I'm afraid when I go in there and turn and try to nip off that little branch, it's gonna break off a bigger chunk than I was expecting. All right, Mr. Rusty going in. Moment of truth. I'm kind of nervous actually. I don't want to break the whole thing. Ah, no. Man, no. I tried to do a little bit. I feel like the leverage is not quite right. And I feel like I'm gonna bring the whole thing down. All right. Change of plan. I feel like the feel is not quite right. I feel like if I yank it, if I twist it, the whole thing's gonna go down. So I don't think the connelly is large to the point where I can use that yet. So I'm gonna go in with a clipper just to be safe. Once again, using my yellow gloves, I'm even wearing my long sleeves underneath it so I can stay warm. Best purchase ever. Seriously, if you guys are interested to learn more about it, look in the video description below. It has an Amazon link. There's like 14 bucks. Served me really, really well. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's a nice chunk. That is a nice chunk. And then we're gonna take this guy. Okay. Don't fall off. There it is. Probably shouldn't let them touch. All right, first thing first, this guy. It's a nice chunk, eh? Put it here first. Another one. Tiny little slivers right here. Yeah, this piece I'm trying to pick up. It's actually, I guess that branch touched down on the rock is already encrusted on there, so that's it. Huh, okay, that's cool. All right, well, we got some nice, decent chunks right here that I'm gonna chop up a little bit, so let's get to work. All right, y'all, after fragging and mounting gorgonians, I think mounting SPS should be almost like cakewalk here. Well, watch me shoot myself in the foot. Today I have two types of SPS to mount. One is the goldenrod, that is Inappropriate, if I'm pronouncing it right, and the other type is Julian's. I have the name right here.
Setosa.
This is also a really awesome coral. They're both really, really colorful. Now, the thing I want to test out is whether mounting them sideways versus vertically, do they matter? And the whole reason I want to test mounting SPS sideways versus vertically is because when I first started reefing, when I was still using like power compact and VHO lights, I remember the standard way for mounting SPS coral is sideways. Like they lay the frag down sideways. But somewhere along the line, mounting them vertically kind of becoming the go-to for some reason. Now I did a quick poll on IG and a lot of people are still saying that they mount the corals sideways, especially SPS sideways, because they find that they offer a larger base and have more throw out points versus if you do vertically, just one point. So that led me to thinking maybe people started mounting them vertically so they're more presentable a little bit quicker versus you have to wait for these things to grow out. You already got something there. So maybe that's it, but I'm not sure and I want to find out myself as well. So what I'm going to do is that for those two type of corals that I have today, I'm going to mount one set vertically, the other set horizontally, and just kind of track them, see how they do. I feel like that's the best way to learn, right? Just a little bit hands-on. Of course, different coral grow differently. Some people are saying that tenuous, they always mount vertically. Out of Aquaporas and out of SPS, they tend to just kind of lay it down side. We'll get there eventually, but right now I have two type of corals I want to test, and that's what I have on hand. For the ones that's laying down, I want to find the ones that can give the most contact area. So I guess in this case, kind of awkward. I'll probably do this. I mean, it looks kind of awkward, but yeah, I think this will work. The reason I'm using gloves with SPS is just so that I don't get glue on my finger. I hate that feeling, dude. Let me know in the comments if you agree. Glue on finger, worst thing ever. So for the vertical one, I'll use the smaller plug. This will be a little bit tricky. Just gonna jam it in there and then use this guy to instantly cure the super glue. But of course, we gotta dip it in water right away because it'll heat up. Yep, and of course. Perfect time to run out, right? Well, it's just... There you go. Good thing is I have another bottle, so let's swap that in. Same deal here, got the super glue mounts. Jam it in there, get ready to spray. All right, so we got 2 laying down sideways and 2 kind of standing straight up. Let me just put them into the water real quick. While this one looks super nice, we're gonna trim it back a little bit. We don't need such a big piece. Instant set. And here we go. Let's put them back in the tank. Oh man, I noticed on the other side of my Hippo Tang, let's see if she'll flip over. She got like a big scratch mark. Come on, turn over, buddy. Look at that. Oh man. That looks bad, dude. Yeah, that was not there this morning. So I think she probably ran up against some rock or whatnot and just got scraped up. Hopefully it doesn't turn to infection. I mean, you can tell she is super fat, chunky, thick. Yeah, I'm hoping that if all goes well, maybe in like 2 or 3 days the wound will heal, but I'm keeping an eye out and crossing my fingers. This guy is, what, almost 2 years old at this point and growing really rapidly. I think, let me take a step back. I'll still be okay in this tank for a while. Maybe in another year and a half, I'll probably need to find a larger home for him. I keep saying him or her, I really don't know. But that's one of my babies. I love the clowns. The pair of clowns I have for like about seven years. And this Hippo Tang that raised from the size of like a nickel got at the same time as Daniel. These are my babies, and look at that. Finally, the yellow line goby doing a little cleaning up. Where'd he go? I think is he on this other side? That yellow line goby is like a ninja. No, it's gone.
Moments later.
Alright guys, we double checking on the Hippo Tang. Has been about 4 days, and as you can see, the scrape is pretty much all healed. Thank goodness. I am actually going to pull some SPS frag today. My Reef Sensei Jim is going to hook me up with I think a Walt Disney frag, a tiny one. Yes, trying it again. The first 2 failed, but I'm much more confident in terms of my SPS keeping ability in this tank these days. And also I think he's going to hook me up with a small frag of the 24K Lepto that I sent over to Camp Jimbo a long time ago as well. It's a beautiful, beautiful gold coral, but I'll show you guys when I actually get it. And from my end, I'm going to send a clipping of my Magnificence and also a clipping of the Golf Bonsai over to Camp Jimbo. So I guess we'll get to work, but I'm probably not going to show you guys because I feel like I've done a lot of fraggings and mounting videos recently, so I'm sure you guys are sick of it, right? Yes. Oh no. Right into the flower pot. Super glue gel. I happen to use Pilot Lab quick and painless. One is the Magnificent and one is the Golf Bonsai. Good to go.
3 days later.
All right, Reefers, here is kind of like a summary of what has been happening this month and kind of like a follow-up on all the things that happened earlier in this video. So first, let's talk about the frags. The goldenrod frags are doing good. We got 1 sitting in the back and we got 2 kind of chilling in the middle. Again, one of them is vertical, one of them is horizontal. I just want to see how they grow differently. I also have 2 little nubs over there that is kind of laid them down horizontally just to see how they do. Now, I also have all those awesome looking setosas from Julian. That's those pink sticks. Also 1 horizontal, 1 vertical, and I think I got another vertical one up here in the middle of the frame, and I got another horizontal one right there. So it'll be interesting to see how they grow. And since we're up here, I want to also show you 2 frags that I pulled earlier this year. One is a slime ball that I laid down sideways, and also one is a Force 5 digitata. As you see, I laid these down sideways, and I already see different growth tips coming out from the base. And I think it's going to grow into nice, chunky, more busy looking mini colony versus just like a single sticks. So I'm looking forward to that. Earlier this month, I was having some issue with the gold torch. Actually, you may have started seeing issue last video. Some of the tentacle become stubby, right? Not as stringy as it is now. So the issue was a combination of really high nutrient. I need to repeat the really high because kind of for a baseline, this tank's nutrient level, usually phosphate sits about 0.1 to 0.12. Nitrate is usually about 20 or 25, and the tank has been doing fine. But somewhere along the line, 2 weeks ago, the nutrients level just spiked. It spiked all the way up to phosphate of 0.22, and nitrate is shot up to 53, if I remember reading correctly. I was scratching my head. I was like, I've been feeding heavy, yes. Each time I walk by the tank, the fish just kind of swim up here. I'll see if they do it. I'll stand by the tank and they'll come up and just like, it just seems hungry, so I would feed a little bit. It was like, but then thinking back, I feel like there's no way even with the extra feeding, the nutrient will shoot up that much, because I felt like I've been pretty consistent in terms of how much I feed. So I took a look at the refugium, and as I did my water change, I finally did a water change, by the way, I noticed a lot of the macroalgae melted away. I got some hair algae, but a lot of macro melted away. So that led me to think maybe these great macroalgae actually went sexual in the refugium without me knowing. I thought the water looked a little bit hazy, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago for like 1 to 2 days, but I didn't think too much of it. Hindsight, I felt like maybe that was when some of these macroalgae kind of just melted off and just released all the nutrient that it was holding in the body, and that causes the nutrient spike. So I feel like that may be a valid explanation, but as to the true cause, I guess we'll never know. But I did do a pretty large water change. I vacuumed out the refugium, and things are looking a lot better. If I remember correctly, the phosphate checked 2 days ago was about 0.14, and nitrate is about, I said it wrong. Nitrate is about 53 after the water change. Before the water change, nitrate is 72, if I remember right. So the levels are still high, but at the same time, I don't want to bring it down too quickly because I don't want to stress any corals out, especially if the phosphate. So besides doing water change, besides vacuuming the refugium, I'm also running a little bit of a filter floss just to catch all the particulates or uneaten food, and I kind of pull those and swap them out every 2 days or so, just to keep the tank extra clean as we deal with the excess nutrients. But otherwise, dude, by the way, the fish also went on a diet. That's why you see all the fish kind of swimming up like, hey, what's going on? Where are all the food you promised us? So that's why you see all the fish kind of following me a little bit more than usual. But by no means they're starving, anything like that. I always keep an eye on the tummy, make sure they're not pinched. And since we're looking at fish, I'm really happy to report that the Hippo Tang is completely healed. Now we're just kind of waiting for him or her to turn around. Look at that. Can't even see that there was a scar there at all. So I'm really happy to see that. The goat torch is looking good again. It was really stubby, and that got me really worried for about a week and a half. And that's when I decided to really test the water to kind of get to the bottom of things. But yeah, looks nice and happy again, so that is good. One sad news I do have to report is that one of the frag that I made 2 days ago, actually 3 days ago now, the Magnificence that I was supposed to give to my Reef Sensei Jim, RTM bleached out overnight. It was doing perfectly fine for about 2 days, and then today I wake up, I saw this, like, what happened? The golf bonsai still looks good. I'm thinking maybe that corner does not get a lot of flow, so maybe that's one of the reasons. But I'm gonna let that little frag grow out a little bit. Maybe in a month or so, I'll try to pull another frag to give it to Jim, and we'll see how it goes. The other thing that you may or may not have noticed is that I have reorganized some of the rocks. Before, all the Goniporas, all the mushrooms are kind of all squished there. It's a big mess, and things are just stinging each other, in my humble opinion. Namely, the Gonipora, that pink Goni. And also, this is actually a Bernardpora. I always thought it was just like a regular rainbow Gonipora, but after watching Reef Builder's video, I learned that there's actually a whole different kind of coral. It's supposed to be Bernardpora, and they do not play well with Gonipora. This guy will sting the other Gonipora. So I space them out a little bit, give the coral some space to kind of spread out and grow as they should, and hopefully they'll do well. Unfortunately, while doing that, I did tear one of the sun-kissed mushroom. That's why they look kind of sad right now. And I was really worried that, especially the guy in the back, may be getting an infection. but at the same time I'm kind of nervous about dipping soft coral, so I just kind of try to make sure they're in a decent flow area and keep things clean, and hopefully they'll heal up over time. It's a shame because like they were large, so hopefully they'll get back to how they were before. The other corals I want to kind of show off to you guys, because who does not like to show off their reef tank, especially when they're looking okay, is the Bahama Llama Weeping Willow. This has been a really popular corals, and for the longest time it does nothing in terms of growth for me. And I'm happy to report that for whatever reason, it's decided that, okay, the tank looks okay and feels okay, I'm gonna start growing. So it has pretty much, even though it's still small right now, it's pretty much doubled in size in the last 2 months or so. So I'm crossing my fingers. And the GMK, that's these zoas right here that I got from Lynn, that's doing well. You see that the entering the one polyp GMK to the frag grow-out contest was a total mistake. It's not, let me check. Yeah, I don't see, well, you know what? I think I see a little nub coming in at the top. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but I see a little nub. It's either a little nub or it's going to be a vermetus snail. Hopefully it's a no nub. So that would be awesome. But for the longest time, it's just kind of sitting there, just staring at each other. And of course, we got the other one there. I also got some other nice zoas here. I'm really liking this one. I think it's called Axosphere, if I remember correctly. But there are a lot of nice little zoas that I recently started coloring up. Also this one, Illuminati, I think. Really, really bright little zoas. But yeah, weird thing for zoas for me is that sometimes like they just kind of close up for a couple days and they open again. It's the weirdest thing. I wonder if something else is bothering them that I'm not seeing. But hey, we'll leave that for a different day where I have time to kind of investigate. There's actually a lot of exciting contents coming in that I will share in the next video. For example, your boy is entering into a SPS Grow Out contest. I actually really thankfully won a Reef Awards. But anyways, all these things we'll talk about in the next video. Until then, I hope you guys have a fantastic week or month, and I'll see you in the next video. And be sure to subscribe so you do not miss it when the next video drops. Shit. The Colorado sunburst anemone escaped the cage. That's my fault. I did not put a cap on because I want good water flow and it was sticking really nice on the rock. So, let's check the pump.